Hi, thank you for being with us today. I'm Teresa Bruno, the host of the Soul Talks podcast. This podcast is dedicated to survivors, to our stories, to what we go through, to our hope, to our courage, to finding our way out. Um, and I'm excited today to have our resident therapist with us, Sheri Ryland. And, truthfully, Sheri comes to us now every Monday morning, and she gives us so much help to survive whatever we're going through. So thank you, Sheri, for being here once again today.
Thank you for having me.
And we're going to talk about today anxiety and panic attacks and get Sheri's help with how to manage both. So here we are, Sheri.
Hi, how are you?
I'm good. I'm
Good,
good. It's just
good.
always nice to sit with you, be with you, learn from you.
Oh, thank you. It's great to
Um,
be here and enjoy these conversations together.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think everybody in the world has anxiety. I've certainly
Yes.
had panic attacks in my life, a lot coming out of grief. And I had never felt them much before. They just, came upon me, drowned me. I thought I was having a heart attack, didn't know what was happening to me. So open us up to anxiety as it sits just by itself,
Okay.
anxiety as it influences panic attacks.
Okay. So when we think about anxiety, we think of that you have to have a disorder in order to have anxiety. But what I like to say is that anxiety is your I care too much meter or I really care meter. It's how we wake up in the morning and we hear the alarm clock and we get that
Yeah.
stir to say, okay, I got to go. So anxiety is a natural physical response that we all have regardless of any disorder. So anxiety is a physical response. And then when it's disordered is when it's more than what is really necessary for what's going on in your life. So you have generalized anxiety disorder where you're dealing with a continual low buzz of emotion, of physical response to, I don't feel great about what's going on in the world. I feel nervous. You may have like a butterfly bubble feeling in your stomach. Just kind of that ever evolving feeling of you just feel nauseous. That to me is regular anxiety, more of the disordered anxiety. When you get into a panic attack, is when things come on suddenly. That's why you wake up out of a dead sleep from either a nightmare or something that has evoked this fear in your body. And it can be not a rational thing, but it's something that your body is thinking, oh, this is alarming, I have to take care of it. So that would be a pain in your chest. That's why a lot of people think they're having a heart attack.
Right.
A lot of people will end up in the emergency room on many occasions thinking that they are having a heart attack and then are embarrassed when they leave the emergency room when they tell them, sorry, you just had a panic attack. And it's not just a panic attack. It is your body is trying to resolve something.
So how do you deal first with normal anxiety?
Okay.
And then let's walk through those other stages
Sure.
of disorder, anxiety disorder,
Right.
and then as it leads to a panic attack. But, what do you do with that as a therapist? I mean, and let me also say, everybody in the world talks about anxiety day. Everybody's saying, "Oh gosh, I've got to get a medication for anxiety. My anxiety is so high."
Right.
When you hear those things, is that what you would call kind of a normal anxiety, or is that anxiety disorder?
Well, and again, it's also, are we using a buzzword? Are we just not comfortable with knowing how to have coping skills, with knowing how to survive what's going on in your world? Because there's situational things, such as, like you said, grief. Situational things where I have a paper that needs to be turned in. I have a big project to do. Of course, that you're going to have anxiety because your body is saying, hurry up, you need to get this done. So it's that physical response kicking you in gear. So that's the natural thing. But if it happens all the time and it's been going on a good portion of your life, we're not talking one situation or two, but at work, at home, at play even, then we're talking about something that really it's more that you're dealing with the imbalance of chemicals in your brain. And that's where you need the medication to help you. So we've been working, I have a lot of people where we've been working for quite a while on working on coping skills, and then we're fine, right? We've dealt with all the life challenges that happen, and we don't need to go to medical treatment in the sense of meds. But then you have people who really, we've been doing this for a long time. We notice that this is a lifelong pattern for them. And then I would recommend, okay, it's time for you to go talk to your psychiatric provider or even your primary care physician about some kind of medication for anxiety. And then people get worried about, am I going to be stuck on this for the rest of my life? You know, that's a major question. And that just depends. What brought it on? Is this a lifelong thing? Is this a major event that happened that we're trying to get through? So it all depends on those situations. There's no answer, just like with when am I going to get over anything?
Yeah, right.
So
that's everybody's question, and always mine to myself. How long am I going to go through this?
Exactly.
How long am I going to feel this pain? How long am I going to
Exactly.
feel this anxiety?
Right.
Because we do all have it. I want to go back on something that you just said. You said, you work with people sometimes for quite a while, helping them get through the things that are causing them anxiety and giving them tools. What are some tools to help us bring down normal anxiety that doesn't need to be medicated?
Well, those are ones where you're learning how to change the speak in your head, your negative self-talk, your negative narrative, your distorted way of thinking, that fear that if I don't finish this, I won't be good enough. That fear we've talked about many times about not being good enough, not being right at what I'm doing. Those are ones where we can just change the way we talk to ourselves, and being able to have the breathing techniques, have those things that we've really established over time. And if you know that you're using those skills, you've done everything, and even no matter where you are, you can't reach those skills when you've gone too far. That's when you need medication, that those skills are no longer effective to you.
And I mean, you are an EMDR specialist. I would think that EMDR would play heavily into helping bring down ordinary anxiety.
Definitely, because that's brought on by that trauma that has left a belief system or a statement in your mind that we want to change, right?
Right.
And that's where the narrative piece of changing your thoughts doesn't really fully work, because it's further back in the mind where we have to bring that out and really reprocess that whole language in your mind that's stuck, that I can't bring out otherwise, right? While we're distracted.
Yeah.
So when we're talking about a panic attack, on the other hand, I'm going to give you more important skills, more skills that look weird to be doing, right? So if you have someone in your face that's having a panic attack, first of all, you want to sit them down, have them take a breath, not just say, calm down, everything's going to be okay, right? Just letting them know you're not dying. I want you to take a breath, and let's think about this for a second, right? Get them a cold bottle of water, put it on the back of their neck. Get them either an ice pack or something to put on their wrists. Something that, and actually a bowl of water, of ice water to put your face in.
Oh, yeah.
Because that ice water shocks the body back into reality of saying, oh no, I'm okay, right? You can't be in those same states at once. So that to me is one of the biggest ways to get back out of that. When somebody's really not responsive to the take a deep breath, do all those things. When you're in a full panic attack, those are too hard to do.
Yeah.
So we need something to shock them back. Asking them to catch something really quick, getting their reflexes.
It's a rewire, right? It's a reset.
Yes.
And the cold always, I mean, for me, that kind of works. It is shocking, and it does calm me. It's like, or it stops something.
Right.
Yeah, I've been in a full out panic attack before and had somebody have to sit beside me in an airport and go, breathe, and get cold. And, and it did work. It did help. But the panic attacks are really scary.
They're very scary. I agree. And that's, having somebody there to help and sit you through it and not tell you that there's something wrong with you or that shut up and get over it, which a lot of people are like, calm down, smack them. And that's why back in the day in the movies, everybody would say, just smack them and they'll get back out of it. It's that shock.
Yeah.
It's that shock so I don't recommend you smack your friend, but I do recommend you get something else to shock them out of it. And
Really good
then being
pointer.
able to take a warm shower afterward, a hot shower, something else to allow your body to now de-escalate, relax, figuring out that your body doesn't have to stay in any of those particular states.
Panic. Thank you. Thank you for talking through that. I think we could talk about that a long time because we all
Yes.
are in different states of anxiety
Mhm.
kind of all the time, it feels like, and always working on tools to live more peacefully, live calmer, live more connected to our spirits. So thank you very much for helping us today with
Thank you.
that. And thank you all for listening this morning. Next week, tune in because we're going to talk about how do you get over the devastation of divorce. In the meantime, take care and take hope. See you next week.